So let's revisit the Shadow Serpentis free staging point part 3 or stage 3, how we call it. And I'm currently in a Praxis. It's completely different fit. I'm going to put a buffer fit like I did in the Ishtar, and we'll see whether I can tank it. On a paper with the current fit, I have about 1000 or so rep per second against the Serpentis. And DPS. So it should easily deal with it. Here is the fit. See, I need Wasp first. Let's go get those battleships. Again, I'm gonna use the rapid heavy missiles since they have a punch, and I can kill battleships very easily because they have high alpha. Plus, Tech 2 are being able, so the alpha accounts can use those if they're not restricted behind a paywall or behind Omega account. So if you skill it up, you will have it, which is a nice thing. Although they do not have a range of Tech 2 cruise missiles, but they still have a good punch. Unless the reload comes, but that's another issue. Anyway, with the current fits, I have right now about 883 DPS. Although I have refits and policy control systems as much as I can, as much as I need, the drone damage amplifiers and what's not. So when only the station is left, I will be switching to those. I'm gonna start refitting to a buffer tank, and low slots I'm gonna fill up with them with as much or as many of the damage models as I can. There was some question whether there's been a reason what again, and the question is, can you do it with low skills? So this fit, what I'm currently using, it is the lowest skills or the lowest thing I would do.
A module has run out of charges.
I'm not quite sure about Pithum C types, whether you need Pithum B types for like 5 mil a pop. So it depends how you're gonna fit. If you don't use Tech 2 missile launchers and you go with T1s, so like Arbalest are fairly cheap, and you're gonna use Caldari Navy ammo, you have much higher range on the missiles. But then the damage output kind of suffers, not significantly, but still suffers. But the Caldari Navy, the faction armor has much better application and higher range. Therefore, you don't need that hydraulic rig. That rig will increase your range on a missile. Like with my skills without the rig, I have about 47 kilometers. With the rig, I have 7 additional kilometers. I need that one because battleships will start orbiting me at like 51 to 52. I don't have a range for that one unless I'm switching to faction armor. For me, faction armor is kind of expensive in my opinion, but it gets the job done. I mean, if you're running this escalation, it pays itself off. You don't use that many, but still, I prefer the 2 armor over faction one. The drones, you can go with faction drones. They are expensive, so like a Wasp here in local markets, like 2 mil. If you go for the faction variant of that one, you will pay about 3 mil. 2.5, let's say. The benefit of the faction drones, first, you don't need Tech 2 drone skills, no drone specialization whatsoever. Second one, you have slightly higher speed, slightly higher application of damage, and 50% more HP on shields, armor hull, depending on which faction you're using. But they are much better in that regard if they are getting attacked or aggressed by NPCs. However, the Tech 2 are perfectly fine if you can use them as an Omega. You won't be able to use them. You will be
A module has run out of charges.
light drones, but not tier 2 medium and tier 2 heavy. So you have to rely on faction. Faction again, about 10% less damage, but it's still damage. Damage output you need to deal is so against NPC itself, it will be always kinetic. So it's the Wasps and the Hornets, plus the missile is Scorch Fury or Caldari maybe Scorch missiles. Against the structure itself, if you check the resistances, you will need to shoot with explosive. So the reason is 1000 HP of shields, recharging up to 25%. Not that high, but still recharging. By the way, you should set your drone's auto attack off. And the reason is if the structure shooting you, the Serpentis will outpost. If it shoots you and the drones, if the drone is deciding it is an attacker, if you're gonna start attacking that one, and you trigger next wave. If you trigger the wave number 3, you are well in not a bad spot, but very bad spot, like very bad spot. You pretty much shouldn't be able to recover from that one because all the waves like 2 and 3 are on grid, which is undesirable for you. I mean, maybe you could tank it. I won't recommend to do it. Like do it wave after wave after wave. That's the surest way you can do it. So this one was perfectly fine to tank. So I would say it will be fine. Anyway, the thing I need to go is past wave number 3. Wave number 3 is the heaviest wave. You have 2 neutralizers, but since I'm a passive fit, I don't care. Usually I would do with a active tank, simply because the active tank has you can free up low slots, and free slow slots are for the damage mods. Therefore, you have to
A
consider.
module has run out of
I
charges.
have here a refit for active tank. Yeah, I think I need. Like we are previously running. I have 3 flux cores and what's not. So theoretically, I can show you how to refit that one. Or practically, let's see. Remove that. Remove that. Three flux cores, 2 command, 2 those, then ballistics controls. The damage output will be lying on missiles. You have very little DPS with the drones. With the heavy drones, you still have them, but not that much. So rely on missiles first, and then go second on when you need more DPS, like four ballistic control systems, and then 1 or 2 of the, or even 3 of the drone damage amplifiers. But you will get more damage with the missiles than with the drones. Just FYI. Again, you need a multi-spectrum. You will need where's this? Kinetic, thermal, spread it around a little bit, maybe that way. What else? So we call drones, but let a single one up. Trigger the next wave. Next wave is at 25%. And I will need us not a Berserker, let's get a heavy one. The Caldari. Let's see. So let's put it down for a second. I should have shot into the missile, that's faster that way, but whatever. By the way, rats to the side never will point you, and that's the wave. So this wave is cruise missile wave. It shoots with thermal and thermal. So the tower will shoot with thermal, stronghold, and those sentry shoot with thermal. To kill those things, you will load explosive. Explosive is the surest way to go. Unlock that one. You don't need it, so you don't accidentally kill that. I would probably stay. Let's stop the explosive for now. and start shooting those. So those cruise missiles do not have that much HP, but they do have some. The kicker punch, but it isn't, even with the active tank, you shouldn't be having issues whatsoever. So back to fitting. You will need 1 PB. I don't see where it is. Large, either PB or large capacitor. I would go with large one. Take 2. If you're able, you can get with PB away, but I would prefer, depending on your skill level. Like I would say go with Tech 2. You don't have that much room to play with. Therefore, go with Tech 2. Have more capacitor charge. If you need even more capacitor charge, you can drop that one, get a capital charger instead, and you will have much higher recharge. Well, not much higher, but like 0.8 plus gigajoule, which is not that much, but not that little. You will need that one, and should be simplified. If you cannot use Tech 2 because it's maybe behind Omega skill, get a Tech 2 counterpart, like a compact one. The difference is only like 3.5%. So you can compensate it one. And it's completely sufficient to run wave 1, 2, I believe, and the 4. 1, 2, and 4. And the 3, you should be switching to a passive tank, like I was doing. That's the idea behind it, and it will be perfectly fine to run the side.
A module has run out of charges.
Anyway, I think that it will be perfectly fine to work with the passive, but at this wave I should probably have refitted for a damage tank instead, like dropping those flux coil power relays and going for more ballistics, just to have more damage output right now. Well, it's fine. It will work. The question is how fast you're gonna clear. But it should be possible. Like it's the easiest way, I think, or the laziest one to do. By the way, if you need even more DP, not DPS, but even more rep, you can drop, and you're using faction missiles because skill level, because you cannot use Tech 2 launchers. I would recommend using Tech 2 launchers because DPS increase is significant. I would say drop that one, get another Purger that will give you about 100 HP per second more, or even 150. So it will definitely be tanky as hell. I would need Scorch. I will also drop a signal. Oh, wait a sec. I'm gonna drop all the heavies since drones not auto-aggress.
To give the command to a drone requires you to have an active target.
I'm gonna just attack with a single drone, maybe 2 drones, and I'm gonna spawn the next wave. Since the drones will not attack aggro, not doing anything, and I'm just gonna slow it in. So wave number 3, that's the heavy wave, and when I'm past that one, it should be much easier. Do I need more? I think I do need more drones. I need to hit 25% shield left. Also, here we go. Okay. So neutralizers, that's your enemy number 1 here inside. And this bit is designed to completely ignore. You will be kept out, but you have no modules which are requiring capacitor. That's the beauty of that one. But you are sacrificing your capacitor, your tank ability for DPS. Like, no DPS whatsoever. So kill battleships first. They do a lot of damage, and I would just go for the long range. That's the Grand Admiral, and those two, the Core Lord Admiral, are the short range. The short range, if depending from which side you come in, if like 40 plus kilometers, they will just yellow box and start burning in your direction. So you have time to kill those long range, and always go for long range. They will hit up to 150 kilometers. Therefore, just nuke them out, take them out, and we nearly are out of capacitor. But it is not an issue. So this side is capable, perfectly capable to do in a passive Praxis. And that's the heaviest side, heaviest wave ever. Like you have significant amount of battleships. I think I'm gonna drop in a second a ballistic. Okay, let's go. Let's drop a mobile track, not reactor, mobile depot. Refit. Drop a shield power relay.
A module has run out of charges.
Another ballistic, which will increase my DPS, but then I have less tank, which is fine. Because currently I am perfectly fine hovering about 60%. Anyway, recharge rates on so armor doesn't regenerate, shield does, and hovering between 33 and 60% is the highest amount of repair rate on shield, basically. So as soon as I'm gonna take another battleship, I should be even better position. And let's start working on the second one. So are those tanky? Yeah, those battlecruisers are tanky. They do some damage, not the damage output like a battleship, but they are very tanky. They have very high resistances. So if you start shooting those, you're gonna waste your time. And by wasting your time, I mean wasting time right now. You can kill them later if you want to, but right now it's waste of time because they don't do like half the damage as a battleship, but they tank like a battleship, HP wise. So kill them as last ones. About damage output, let's speak about damage output. You will need about 450 damage per second, DPS per second of kinetic to kill battleships and battlecruisers. If you don't hit that number, you will have difficulty to run the site, or even one best possible. To kill the tower itself, the structure itself, you will need about 850 DPS plus to run effectively in timely matter of time, timely thing. A friend of mine in my current corporation was running the site in an ishtar with Wasp instead of the Berserkers, which is kind of bad chosen. It's not a good one, and he was only going for armor when it hit criticals. So first, you're not always hitting criticals, and second, he was there for 4.5 hours, and he went through for the whole to like 30% before he called me and like, hey, can you help me out? Therefore, don't do that one. Get more DPS and get damage specific DPS. You will need explosive damage to kill the tower. In comparison, if you do kinetic damage, you will have like 30% less, or 37. Well, actually, I compared the damage output with the kinetic drones, although it's higher, in comparison to the Minmatar ones. you will lose at the end due to resistances of the tower itself, the structure, 37.5. In an ishtar at least. Like ishtar, same comparison, bad, like very, very bad. And we speak about like 720 DPS in ishtar with Caldari drones and like 600 something DPS with the Caldari drones, not Caldari, with the Mimota drones. Okay, neutralizers, let's refit, I guess. It's about time again. So, don't need that. Let's do it that way. I know how much I need to skip. Not the drones, I need missiles. It's the main damage dealer. Not enough. Well, let's sacrifice this one module, since I have enough range, and kill the rest. At this point, it doesn't matter that your drones are on auto attack, since the initial tower have spawned, you can kill those.
A module has run out of charges.
Kill those neutralizing towers and then go for them. Oh, do you need to kill them? Not really, actually. Just get the cosmos of tower, it's the DPS one. So, let's see. Or I'm gonna shoot with the wrong damage type, but I wanna speed up that one a little bit. So that one is 59. I don't have range of that one, but I can send my drones there, I think. Depends on the range. My range is where? I am blind, 57. So even there I have trouble. Okay, let's drop that. Let's go that. Doesn't matter to me. Maybe even that for now. I haven't brought a again an enhancer for the low slots. I was forgetting to build one, but yeah, I mean you could switch to faction armor and kill that one fairly easy. So rapid missile launcher killing frigates are fairly easy. Anyway, I'm getting droned out of the capacitor, but the Serpentis energy neutralizers itself do not do damage. I can ignore them since I'm passive fit. So yeah, wrong ammo, but just to speed up a little bit the procedure, this is single cruise missile style, and after that, just gonna switch to auto attack mode. Let's target the outpost again. I wanna trigger the last wave and see how it goes. Like I need to figure out how many of the shield power relays I need. I mean, with your skills, if you have issue to fitting, I would suggest go with more shield power relays. And less DPS, because there's those shield extended. I mean, you could even drop the shield extenders to go F-S9.
A module has run out of charges.
And they have less requirements to fit. Skill-wise, you will need only shield upgrades 1, therefore fairly easy to do to fit them. So, by the way, I don't need that. I could easily drop that, and I think I need another score, or even 2. Well, I'll figure that one out if I drop below 40%. Can I? Yeah, I can. Let's go. So usually I have a, you can use them as picking more gang, less tank. And right now I will need a little bit more, probably. We'll see. Yeah, I went about 40. Tank should be fine. Do not drop it below 30. Please. Yeah, I'm holding. Okay, give me another one. That should deal with that situation.
A module has run out of charges.
So yeah, drones do some damage, but not as much as missiles. Just in case you're wondering, I'm not using the drones. Drone damage with fire now. So theoretically, you could just, since you could do a hustle, like if you're firing, go ballistic controls. If you are reloading, go ship power race. Do you have higher recharge rate? That's up to you. I want to deal with that one, but the possibilities are there. I cannot fit that one yet. Ship power ray. I believe that's the last wave. I have triggered. This is 70. Yeah, it's the last wave. So 75% of the armor is the trigger number 4 for the wave number 4. So pay attention if you start auto-targeting stuff, auto-attack drones. You can trigger all the ways through, like in a single salvo. Therefore, pay attention not to auto-attack drones till you have spawned wave number 3. Wave to wave to wave. When you clear the wave number 3, it doesn't matter. Go auto-attack, go nuts. As much as you can. As much as you want to.
A module has run out of charges.
So let's see, how much DPS do I do with drones? 300, 450. So 350 is barely capable to kill those battlecruisers, but that's fine. When the reload is through, it's gonna go much faster. Anyway, come on. Here we are. So yeah, C-types are completely fine. If you use faction missiles, you don't even need to rig that. You can do with the large Persia. Therefore, you can even probably gonna drop one power relay, or go with the meta shit extenders. You have even better free room for. So there is a space for how you're gonna approach it one. It's top 2. Let's go additional. Where is it? I'm blind. I need an additional ballistic control. Think. I'm completely blind. There should be additional here. Drop that. I'm not gonna need those. Can I fit 3 drone damage? I don't think so. Maybe. Shut down that. Here we are. Like you can like let it deactivate it. It doesn't matter. The reason is the tower itself doesn't do that much damage, and since you have sealing clauses, so theoretically you could bring additional thermal Pithum C type. That one is about 150,000 up to 200,000 ISK. It's not that expensive. It's very cheap. And remove those, get like 4 stacks, which get to stacking penalty, but then you will have a humongous resistance against thermal damage.
A module has run out of charges.
Yeah, looks like we are fine. So perfectly fine to tank the tower. It does damage. Here it comes thermal only, but the recharge rate on left resistant shade extenders, it's fine. Speaking of which, ideally I would even right now I would just drop the kinetic and online to additional shade extender, which gives me higher recharge rate. So, no precision, recalled Wasp, the wrong one. I mean, we will do damage, but we are subpar to explosive damage due to resistance of the tower. Send them in. So right now I have about 1,973 DPS. With Omega I can do even more. If I switch to Sentry and Torpedo Fit, but if you are not able to use T2 torpedoes, since you're probably not Omega, you should stay with the Rapid Heavies. Rapid Heavies have a much higher output even than T1 cruise missiles. Just saying. It's a matter of fact. So with so much damage, I should be easy chewing through the ammo time by time, step by step, and yeah. So that's basically it. You don't even need to figure out, am I muted, am I not? You don't need to even to figure out, do I need to refit for a active tank? It will work. It will work if you hit some numbers. It's not pretty, but it works pretty fine. Anyway, I have been doing some videos.
A module has run out of charges.
Blood Raiders 2, but I still tinkering on a Ishtar being able to do 8 of 10. And I sacrificed already 2. So it is I need more tank on that one. Figured the tank out, but I haven't tested yet. Fortunately. Anyway, I also need a testing for a 8 of 10 Serpentis. Unfortunately, there's nothing on the market, and I'm not kind of declined or not inclined to go farming those yet. I could, like Pexo Ishtar, just drop them inside and let's see what's happening. But I'm kind of busy with running all this escalation people sending to me, capital escalations. However, as today I fitted a widow with 4 tangos, which have been running in a Serpentis shipyard. I need about 18 minutes. Although I wasn't explaining much, but I need to do the video and upload it again to have the correct things. but it was very fun and very fast. However, it is pricey. Like, not that pricey, like people are running, but pricey, definitely pricey. Having at least 2500 DPS with auto-targeting missiles, and then if you're switching with targeted missiles, you're going up to like 3.5 k DPS, which is a lot as combined DPS since not using a Marauder, but then you need six accounts.
A module has run out of charges.
But it is very easy to run, to be honest, and you're not getting a Marauder, which is fun part. So imps-wise, I'm not running anything right now. Although I have some implants I could use, but those are for Tango. Not on this account, I guess I have none. Nope, on this account I have none for the Tangos, because this is the Sino character for that setup. So, no missile skills on non-missile imps. I'm not gonna run out of missiles, but now I've brought enough, I guess. I hope so, at least. Well, I would need to bring a couple more. Was it like a 6,000? No, that was 7,000 stack, something 7.5 or so. It was a 5,000 stack. I think it's gonna be sufficient. I'm already like 75%. Yeah, that looks good. Should be fine.
A module has run out of charges.
Anyway, plan-wise for the Praxis, I wanna do a 8 of 10 in a no-prop Praxis. For Alpha Omega, how we call it, we'll see how it goes. Like, probably that fit would be able to do that side. And there's only 4 battleships in the last wave, which is perfectly fine. And but there's a bunch of cruisers you will be pointing, you will wept to Nirvana. So why don't, like, with all the webs, with all the points on grid, you'll be going down to, like, I would say, how much is it? Like 2 meters per second or so. So it's heavily, like, the tower itself swept you down to 75%, which is fine. But then the rest of Vipifying Towers gets you down to like 95 to 98% plus the frigates. You are pretty much standing in a place. And those destroyers, there's a ton of destroyers on grid, a ton of better cruisers on grid. I don't know, like, the 8 of 10 is more difficult to run than 10 of 10, in my opinion, unless you have the same setup I'm doing, like century based. But it's completely different thing to do, a different approach.
A module has run out of charges.
And here. So yeah, we can close that one to see what's happening in the vicinity. So, as I said before, the fit is perfectly fine. Not even need more of the wrap rate. It's completely sufficient to do sides, and it's completely ignoring the neutralizers, which is bunkers, like significant bunkers. However, it takes time. I mean, I am currently at 40 minutes and I'm 60% down. I would say I would need additional 10 minutes and then I'm full. Possibly full. I hope so. So usually I would need like 20 minutes to kill a tower.
A module has run out of charges.
Chipping the weight 1% by percent. So yeah. Anyway, that mobile depot can go. I no longer need it. Scoop it. And where I am at, I'm gonna border. I'm gonna burn in since I'm gonna pick up the container, and container gonna spawn right at that point, and you will be like in 4,000 meters. So can theoretically get as close as possible. By the way, this is not a dead space. So that room, I have done it in a dreadnought. You can warp dreadnought. You can even warp. Like if you have a bookmark, you can warp forth and back. It doesn't matter, which is cool. But yeah, as long as you have the damage and range, you can just approach the pawn and just do your thing. Let's see
A module has run out of charges.
Cover that range and get in vicinity before I'm gonna kill the tower. I mean, theoretically, I'm covering like 1 kilometer, something, 1,000 meter a minute, about the number. So in the worst case scenario, I actually start burning when I was I cleared the last wave. But yeah, that's fine. Anyway, I'm currently working on a couple of other projects. Finishing it up. Items. That one I can build. So this one I'm using only kinematics fireplace that will be ready tomorrow, I think. Sufficient numbers. So when I finish that one, I can build that one, that one. And this one is already in build. I'm only missing an item of that one. Or is it done? I think it's already done.
A module has run out of charges.
So this part is for production. Those I have already, and I can save more money, I guess. theoretically in production stuff. Agent buy the market, but then you're not saving money. If you build the stuff, it takes time. But that's the production line, production side where you can save good amount, decent amount of money. That one is kind of too close. Probably a Genka, Legion, a hot dropper. Okay, let's stop the ship just in case. So he gonna come from EIG-E. If he comes, I'm gonna do some estimation how much time I need. I would say 7 minutes, maybe 8, 7 to 8 minutes. No, less.
A module has run out of charges.
It's like 30%. 30% of 30 minutes. Math is heavy. I would say 6 minutes, maybe 7. So keep going. But yeah, I'm trying currently to go away from the Phoenix. I mean, I can use it, I can perfectly use it, but my preferred ship or line of ship in this space is the Morse, as the Dreadnought. Simply because I can mine isotopes and oxygen isotopes here in Fountain, and I need to import nitrogen. Although I import today again, I spent about 1.25 bill, or was 1.35 bill on the complete 1.5 million units of nitrogen isotopes. But it's gonna be sufficient for like, I don't know, a month, maybe 2.5 months. At that point, the more should be finished and ready to go. And we are
A module has run out of charges.
taking a risk being dropped.
Warp drive active.
Spit out. It's clocking. He should move on soon, and he has a lot. Probably upgrade.
Warp drive active.
And I run out of capacity. That's the fan club hunting him. And he's gone. Okay, that was B-32. Where's the B-32? Okay, B-52 is fine. Let's recap and come back to the grid. So I bookmarked not the location, but the frigate over there, which will be very, very close.
Warp drive active.
So anyway, that warp was a dead cap warp. I didn't have any capacitor, warped on a long distance and flew out of the warp. Dead cap capacitor or dead cap warp is very beneficial when you early in the game or you have a very long warp, you don't know what's on the other side of the gate, and what you're gonna do, you're gonna initialize a warp to another gate and break it up. Position is bumping away. And what's gonna happen, you can draw your capacitor without warping, and when you warp, you're gonna warp a part of the way, and that way you're gonna approach this target, the out target, on a distance, so you can get in a distant range. The counterproductive skill for that is warp right, I believe. Let me see, navigation is the warp craft operation. So, and level 1 and 2 is, and level 3 is pretty much necessary to warp long distances. Level 4 is fine, level 5 is awesome, but then you will need to do something actively if you want to do that cap warp. But with less skill, you will have more wiggle. It's the benefit of the backdrop.
A module has run out of charges.
Nearly there. So yeah, it is slightly slower, like 10% slower, maybe, for 15%, 20% slower than a usual sniper torpedo, what you call it, setup is, but it works. Like, it works very well. Okay, do we have loot boxes right now? I don't think so. No, we do. I mean, only by component containers, and the reason I'm doing that one, the next container which is gonna spawn, it's not gonna be abandoned, and it will be white, in white color. Therefore, I will be instantly seeing which container I have to loot. Therefore, I'm not wasting my time with anything else. Do you have anything? Nope. That spread is empty. That's fine. So I need another minute or two, and then that one is also be finished. It was kind of a breeze, nothing, not that difficult to run. Not as the blood-rated one. The blood-rated one, 8 of
A
10,
module has run out of
is
charges.
insanely difficult in the ishtar. Like, I in the same site, on the same grid, I lost 2 ishtars in a row. Just saying. And that ishtar was not that, it wasn't blinky. It wasn't blinking. It had good repair rates. I did even 1,100 HP per second, and still it's barely alive. I mean, I can do ishtar complete on a tanking and get about 1.45 thousand HP per second, but then the DPS drops like to 400 DPS, which is sufficient to run those sites. But again, it is nuts. It's very difficult. Maybe we're gonna do it with ishtar in a 8 of 10 Serpentis too. For Battlecruisers. Here it comes. Come on. And here we go. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time.